Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn chapter 4, Air, part 1. Content of this part are atmosphere, composition of atmosphere, air circulation, greenhouse and global warming, as well as structure of atmosphere. So these topics we will cover in part 1, chapter 4. Envelope of air, that consists of gases, water vapor, dust particles, etc. that surrounds the earth is called atmosphere. See in diagram the layers of atmosphere, the layers of air that surrounds the earth, that envelop the earth from all sides, called atmosphere. Our earth is surrounded by a huge blanket of air called atmosphere. All living beings on this earth depends on the atmosphere for their survival. It provides us the air we breathe and protects us from the harmful effects of the sun's rays. Without this blanket of protection, we would be baked alive by the heat of the sun during day and get frozen during night. So it is this mass of air that has made the temperature on the earth livable, that has made the earth place for our survival. Life is found on the earth because of this blanket of air surrounding the earth. Now we will see composition of atmosphere. As you are seeing in the diagram, there are many more gases are found in it. Atmosphere consists of, as you saw in definition, it consists of varieties of gases, dust particles, water vapor, etc. So among gases, two gases are found abundantly. One is nitrogen with 78% of the total volume of gases in atmosphere, and second is oxygen with 21% of the total volume of atmosphere. Besides these, the other gases which are found are carbon dioxide, helium, ozone, argon and hydrogen. Although they are found in very lesser quantities but play very important role in protecting us in survival of life on the earth. So one by one we will see the importance of all these gases, dust particles, water vapor in atmosphere. First we will see the gas which is found abundantly with largest percent, nitrogen. It is the most plentiful gas in the air. When we inhale, we take some amount of nitrogen into our lungs and exhale it. But plants need nitrogen for their survival. They cannot take nitrogen directly from the air. Bacteria that live in the soil and roots of some plants take nitrogen from the air and change its form so that plants can use it. So nitrogen which is found abundantly in it, it is not directly of our use. It is used by plants. Plants also does not take it directly from the air. It get it through root from the soil. Next to nitrogen, the gas which is found abundantly is oxygen. It is the second most plentiful gas in the air. humans and animals take oxygen from the air as they breathe. Green plants produce oxygen during photosynthesis, means during daytime. In this way, oxygen contents in the air remains constant. If we cut trees, then this balance gets disturbed. Then the important gas which is found in atmosphere is carbon dioxide. It is another important gas. Green plants use carbon dioxide to make their food and release oxygen. In this way, carbon oxygen cycle goes on. Humans or animals release carbon dioxide. The amount of carbon dioxide released by humans or animals seems to be equal to the amount used by plants, which makes a perfect balance. However, the balance is upset by burning of fuel such as coal and oil. They add billions of tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere each year. As a result, the increased volume of carbon dioxide is affecting the Earth's weather and climate. Now we will see what is greenhouse effect. To understand it, first we'll see carbon dioxide released in the atmosphere creates a greenhouse effect by trapping the heat radiated from the Earth. It is therefore called a greenhouse gas. Carbon dioxide is called a greenhouse gas, and without it the Earth would have been too cold to live in. However, when its level is in the atmosphere increases due to factory smoke or car fumes, the heat retained increases the temperature of the Earth. This is called global warming. This rise in temperature causes the snow in coldest part of the world to melt. As a result, the sea level rises, causing floods in the coastal areas. There may be drastic changes in the climate of a place leading to extinctions of some plants and animals in the long run. So what is greenhouse effect? The trapping of the sun's heat radiated from the earth by greenhouse gas like carbon dioxide. See in picture, and the sun radiates heat and light in all the direction. Some part of it reach to the earth, the part which reach to the earth, that is solar radiation. When it reach, some part of it get reflected back into space. Some part get trapped in the earth. After getting heated, it also radiate back the heat, which is trapped by greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide. But due to human error, increase in human activity, sea waste and wastewater has increased this pollution level 3%. Energy supply due to for this transport, means smoke coming out from all these activities has increased the level of greenhouse gases very much in the atmosphere. And what is the result of it? Okay, due to increase in amount of these greenhouse gases, the temperature of the earth is increasing day by day, or that results in melting of snow. Due to melting of snow, water level in the ocean and other bodies increased, that submerge the coastal areas. Life found in these areas get disturbed. In this way, this create problems. See, global warming is major issue since few past years. Top scientist offers the way out of global warming. Warming unstoppable. CO2 level at 8 lakh years high. Global sunscreen likely thinned. This winter was warmest on record as per reported by US. Global warming means it is a great threat to the life on the earth. Now we will see air circulation. When air is heated, it expands, becomes lighter and goes up. Cold air is denser and heavy. That is why it tends to sink down. When hot air rises, cold air from surrounding area rushes there to fill in the gap. That is how air circulation takes place. See, it is shown in this example. Cold air is heavy, so it moves downward. Exert high pressure and move downward. While warm air get heated and move up. As it is moving downward, getting heated and moving up. See, warm air rises up. On moving up, gradually it get cooled. So it again, as it get cooled, so start moving downward. In this way, air circulation goes on. Now we will see structure of atmosphere. Our atmosphere is divided into 5 layers starting from the Earth's surface. These are called, see, just above the Earth's surface, troposphere. Above it lies stratosphere. Troposphere is separated from stratosphere by tropopause. Stratosphere, above stratosphere lie mesosphere. Mesosphere is separated from stratosphere by stratopause. Then above mesosphere lie thermosphere, and thermosphere is separated from mesosphere by mesopause, and the outermost layer of atmosphere is exosphere, which gradually merges into space and separated from thermosphere by thermopause. So in this way there are 5 layers, and one by one we will see importance of each layers of atmosphere. So first, the troposphere, which is the most important layer, which is uh, important for living organism. Its average height is 13 kilometer. Average height is 13 kilometer. At some part it is very thin. Yeah. Here it is only 8 kilometer thick, while above ocean it is 18 kilometer thick. So average height of this layer is 13 kilometer. The air we breathe exists here. Almost all the weather phenomenon like rainfall, fog, hailstorms occur in this layer. All kind of changes in atmosphere is seen in troposphere only. Now, above troposphere lie stratosphere. It extends up to the height of 50 kilometer. From Earth's surface, it extends up to the height of 50 kilometer. Now, it is free from clouds and associated weather phenomenon. No any kind of changes take place in this layer. So it makes the condition most ideal for flying aeroplanes. One important feature of stratosphere is that it contains a layer of ozone gas. We have just learned how it protects us from the harmful ultraviolet rays and harmful effect of ultraviolet rays of the sun. So this layer, stratosphere, due to presence of ozone gas abundantly, it is also known as ozonosphere, are very much suitable for aeroplane. No any changes take place in this sphere of atmosphere like troposphere. Above stratosphere lies mesosphere. Mesosphere, this is the third layer of the atmosphere. It lies above the stratosphere. It extends up to the height of 80 km. Meteorites burn up in this layer on entering from the space. You have read in class 6 that some celestial bodies in the form of pieces of rock move freely in space. They don't have fixed path. So sometimes they reach to the earth. They enter the earth's atmosphere due to gravitational pull of the earth. When they enter the earth's atmosphere, so due to friction with the molecules of the air start burning, or they are called meteor. These meteors get fully burnt reaching to the earth's mesosphere. In case they do not get fully burnt in mesosphere, then they fall on the ground alive, creating disaster on the earth, or then it is called meteorites. So meteorites get fully burnt up in mesosphere. Above mesosphere lies thermosphere. In thermosphere, temperature rises very rapidly with increasing height. Ionosphere is the part of this layer. It extends between 80 to 400 km. This layer helps in radio transmission. In fact, radio waves transmitted from the earth are reflected back to the earth by this layer, as ion particles are found abundantly in thermosphere. So radio transmission is possible, or it reflected from this layer only, or due to abundant availability of ion in this layer of atmosphere, it is also called ionosphere. Above thermosphere lies exosphere. The uppermost layer of the atmosphere is known as exosphere. This layer has very thin air. Light gases like helium, hydrogen float into the space from here. So in this way, all the layers of atmosphere are found above the earth surface. That's all for today. Thank you.